Oh, hey, Ty, there you are. I was hoping to find you. I need some ideas for the new Nintendo controller.
Oh, good. Are we gonna finally do something that's good for once?
Wow, like what do you mean? What's wrong with the old ones?
Oh, well, where should I start? The NES, the square or the rectangle with edges.
Yeah,
That's comfortable for a
I mean,
hand.
it was. I mean, our technology wasn't. I mean, it was fine. The Super Nintendo was good.
Okay, I mean, I'll give you that. But what came after the Super Nintendo?
It was the 64.
Yeah, yeah, because everybody has three hands to hold three joysticks.
Ty, it wasn't like you don't need to hold all three. There's so many ways to hold it. It's innovation, Ty. It's
Innovation.
it's innovation.
Okay,
Who else had that?
Was the GameCube controller innovation with its creepy little nub yellow joystick that nobody ever used for anything?
It is one of the most popular controllers of all time, and people still use it for Smash.
Okay, so after the GameCube, we had what, the Wii?
Yeah, best-selling console of all time.
Because that's what I want to do is, move around while I'm playing my video game.
We were trying to get people off the couch.
Okay, so I don't even need to mention the Wii U, right? I mean,
Yeah, better not. Switch. How good is the Switch controller, though?
it's one of the best.
Like, the Joy-Cons themselves, and then the Pro controllers are great, too.
The Pro controller is amazing.
Oh, man.
It's almost the perfect system.
It might be the best
It might
console
be
of
the
all time.
perfect console. It's pretty good.
Remember the Wii U?
Hello, and welcome to the TNT podcast, the show where we talk about anything, and I mean anything, except that thing you're thinking of. But I like your style, and we'll also be doing whatever the hell is we feel like, because it's our show, and we do what we want. I'm Alan Rickman.
That was so good. Like, I genuinely thought it was Severus Snape there for a second.
Pretty good. That's one of my...
Say, turn to page 394.
Turn to page 394. Potter.
He hated Potter. He hated Harry because he wanted to fuck his mom. Literally the entire story of the Harry Potter Harry Potter saga.
It's like way to take it out on the kid. It's like it's not his fault.
Yeah, no shit. If anything, I get hating James. I understand that.
Yeah,
but like, goddamn. Anyway, Snape was actually a good guy. He just didn't know that for the first 3-4 books.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I miss Alan Rickman. You said it.
He was a treasure.
He was so great.
He's just a treasure. And what a voice.
Epic voice.
But we already did the podcast. Good luck with this one.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ. We went
just be prepared.
We went everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know how we did it.
It's a show about nothing and everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Buckle up, kids.
Yeah, we've said before that it was a roller coaster episode, but this one I feel like was just a roller coaster that crashed and burned.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. Like, we ended up getting into like a serious topic at the end. No spoilers, but like, and then like ended up lighthearted again.
What was it? I don't remember.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
doesn't even matter.
You'll feel a whole range of emotions.
Jesus.
You'll laugh, you'll cry,
you'll fart, you'll cough.
Probably. Those are
things that a body does, yeah. So you'll do those eventually. Anyway, here we go again. Feeding off the energy. Yeah, so there's going to be a weird cut, and you're going to listen to the podcast already in session.
Have fun.
Yeah.
In, 11th grade, junior year, my chemistry teacher was British. And
fancy.
Yeah, he always I'm pretty sure he was just shitting everybody. He always told us that he was a singer and in the music video as one of the kids for Pink Floyd's Brick in the Wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's possible, I guess.
Yeah, he said he
I would need to see that on paper to believe it.
He said they had some official signed videotape or something of.
But he never brought it in, did he?
No.
Yeah, doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he was just jacking us.
I think he was just jacking us off in the bedroom.
Inappropriate.
And that's why he doesn't teach there anymore. No wonder I never had him.
Oh, God.
Fuck's sake, Ty, are you okay? Like, do you need to talk about it? This is a safe space.
Yeah.
Fuck.
There's a safe space on talking about it in front of our tens of listeners.
All, like, dozen of them.
That's
reaching.
Yeah, that's exaggerating.
That's reaching. Yeah, that's why it's a safe space, because nobody's fucking
exactly.
listening.
I guess so.
It's just you and me, Ty.
Right. Apparently, people don't care enough to, like,
Did you
write
see
us on.
somebody commented?
Yeah, it was like some weird thing on YouTube.
It was definitely a bot.
Yeah.
They commented on 2 different posts, the exact same comment.
I didn't see it was on 2 of them. I saw it was on the one. I didn't see the other one.
It was on both, and it was just like, "Hi, I don't mean to be rude, but I didn't know if I could friend request you or something." And I was like, "You're definitely
Was it
not
that?
real."
I don't remember it being that comprehensive. I don't know.
It was something like that.
Like, I don't even think the one I saw like had that many words to it. It wasn't like a whole sentence.
Oh, dude, it was like a paragraph
I don't know.
and a half. It was like, okay, here.
Was that on a Facebook post?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, dude. Okay. It's by a fake person by the name of Sandra John. Am so sorry for intruding, but I just want us to be friends because you seem kind and your posts are impressive. I do not want to be too rude to send you a friend request without your permission. That why am asking. If it suits you, please send me a friend request and send me message.
That's some pretty good English there.
And it's on 2 different posts, the exact same comment.
Is it like a really hot chick? Because like those are the ones who they.
I mean, she's aight.
Sandra John.
Yeah. I don't know if she's real or not.
It's clearly one of those ones that like somebody makes a post with a picture of somebody else that they've just stolen from somewhere else.
Yeah. Because that's all that was there was a profile picture and like nothing else.
Mm-hmm. It's like
that's our biggest fan.
Yeah, right.
Hi, Sandra. She's so pumped right now. She's like, yes, they name dropped me.
It's the second person to ever comment on one of our posts,
and they weren't real. This is the big time, Ty.
Right? We've made it.
Oh shit, we made it.
But no, like Facebook friends. How many like are you one of those that have like a bunch of people who you don't actually know because you would just accept the request?
I have some, yeah. There's people that I would just like literally there's people that I've met on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Like the only reason I know them is through Facebook, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have too many of those. I have some that I've met through groups and who I like if I were to scroll through I probably wouldn't be able to tell you who they were, but I know a lot of people will just friend anybody they come across.
Yeah, I
have
don't
like
do that.
Thousands.
I was pretty reckless in high school. Like I'm like, "Oh, I saw you in the hallway once, add." Like, "Yeah, I saw your name on the class list or whatever. Like you must be relevant, add." Yeah, I was the one that did that.
Yeah, well, back in the day, it was kind of like the Wild West. It was like you just added people just so you could have friends.
Yeah, remember when that was a big thing? Mm-hmm. When people cared about their number of friends?
Dude, when it was MySpace.
The top 8 was a big deal.
Yeah, that was a big deal. That was like...
Dude, you could lose friendships over that.
You could.
It's like, I saw a drop from number 2 to number 4. What the fuck's up with that?
Yeah, like it was a dangerous game.
It really was.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, saw I got dropped off your top 8. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Meet me after class. Beat your fucking ass. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
People always got salty when like someone got in a relationship and put their girlfriend as number 1. It's like, dude, I thought I was number 1.
Yeah, bros
like,
before hoes.
Yeah, like seriously, we've been friends for 5 years. You dated her for a week and now she's number 1 friend. Fuck you. Like, it was a big thing.
Yeah, that was big.
Dude, I miss MySpace.
It was great.
It was so much better than Facebook.
Being able to like copy the code and put in your description to like get your theme. Mm-hmm. That was where it was at.
Have we talked about this before?
We have.
It's okay. MySpace is a hot topic.
And that was the title name.
I don't care. It bears repeating. Like,
Yeah.
MySpace was superior to Facebook in every way.
I mean, it is still around. It's just
Not what it was.
Yeah.
It's mostly for bad musicians.
I just feel old because, like, Facebook came around when I was out of high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
I want to say I was like a freshman in high school when it became a thing.
Sometimes I see, like, my old, like, in my Facebook memories where, like, the early days where it was simplistic, where it says, like, your name is, and then, like,
Yeah.
you would just type, a status update.
Right.
That's all it was. It was like, Ty Thaxton is having a bad day.
Yeah. Or
And
you
that
would
was
just
it.
type in like watching this show. Or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't be a full sentence because you were finishing what it started for you. Yeah, I remember that. Do you remember Farmville?
Oh, God, everyone was into it.
Did you play it?
No.
You never played it?
No.
Oh man, it was the shit.
No, it was, because back in that day, I was one of those people where it's like, well, it's popular, so it's stupid. I don't want to play it.
Yeah, because you've changed so much. You don't do that anymore.
I know. Now I do it with TV shows.
Now I do it with other things. But no, I played it. I played Farmtown and Farmville, and they were different, Ty. Mostly in animation style, but they were the exact same game.
Believe me, I got my share of requests. I just never played it.
Dude, it was the shit. You could grow cabbage. Like virtual cabbage, Ty, imagine.
Sounds exciting as
Growing virtual cabbage.
Tractor Simulator. Is that
Farming Simulator.
Farming Simulator. Yeah,
It's actually fun. I've never played
I've
it.
watched somebody play it, and
I didn't play it
disagree.
the way God intended. I played it like Grand Theft Auto. I just drove these giant tractors around and like ramped them off of hills and shit. Didn't plan a single thing.
Oh man,
I mean, that was fun.
was it?
You ever drive a combine as fast as you can off a hill? No? Didn't think so.
How fast is that? 15 miles an hour?
Relatively, yeah. I got a little bit of air though because it was like a cliff, so you're gonna get some air. It was shit. It was
Become
the
a
shit.
farmer just to do.
We were
to do
trying to like
tricks.
ramp a car onto like the semi truck trailer. It was this whole thing. Never planted anything. Never will.
Like they keep coming out with those. Like,
Yeah, every
so they-
year, and they're like selling really well. I don't know why.
wow.
People are into it.
Now, Flight Simulator, I always liked, but that's a real game.
Was that from the Nintendo?
There
was
I think
a-
it's Windows.
Okay, there was some kind of flying game for the Nintendo or Super Nintendo, and it was actually like really hard. And I don't remember what it was called. If you remember what it was called, leave it in the comments.
You're probably making it up though.
No, it was a thing because you know that they added the virtual consoles to the Switch. They have the Super
Yeah.
Nintendo and Nintendo on there. It's on there.
I think you're lying.
I mean, I could be, but I feel like I played it. And there was this other one that like you had to parachute. That was fun.
Was it called Parachute?
I don't think so. But knowing how simplistic games were back then, it very well could be called Parachute.
Was it called Wing Commander?
Could be.
Airwolf?
No.
Star Trek: The Next Generation?
That's it. Just kidding. That's not it.
Uh,
Hold on.
Silent Service?
Oh my god. So I tried to type in Super Nintendo and I typed in Super Noontendy.
Sounds like a good band name. We are Super Nuntendi.
Noontendy. Oh, okay. I found it. Star Fox.
Oh, I thought you meant like it was a simulating flying game.
No, it wasn't Star Fox. That's not what I was thinking of. But how great was Star Fox?
I love Star Fox.
So good.
It originally
Pilot Wings. It's literally called Pilot Wings.
Oh, okay.
It was so fun. You could fly and then like you could parachute. It was this whole thing.
Like eject out of it.
Yeah, like and you would have a target and like for the Super Nintendo, like it's pretty like the physics are good for what it is. Pretty great.
I did love Star Fox though.
Star Fox is so good.
I think I watched this documentary on Netflix about the history of video games, and I think Star Fox was like one of the very first 3D games, and it came out on the Super Nintendo. And then Star Fox 64 was just amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Yeah, it's called Pilot Wings, and so you can fly a plane. It's actually like in 3D, and you can parachute, and you try to land on a target.
Huh? No, I never played that.
Me neither until it was on the Virtual Console. But I was like, Pilot Wings, that sounds like flying, and so then I played it. And
Because pilot.
yeah, and wings. What are some other good? Did you ever play Kirby?
Just like on the Switch Virtual Console for the the NES or SNES.
You never played it like back in the day? Oh, it's so
I know
good.
what he does and I know of him. I never played
He
it.
eats people and takes their powers. Like a vampire. Sort of.
I don't know. I've never seen a vampire like turn into that or take the powers of that other person they were sucking blood from.
Well, my power is like being alive, and then so they take that from me. Because I'm no longer alive and they still are.
I mean, I've used him like in Super Smash Brothers, the original one.
Yeah.
And I know like if he sucks in like whoever and like poops them out, then he becomes like takes on their characteristics.
That's such a good way to put it.
Because like I remember he would do that with Link, and then he would have
the sword, yeah.
Sword and boomerang.
Yeah, I played a version of it for the Game Boy Advance, and it was really good. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but yeah, so like you'd see a little guy breathing fire, and you'd swallow him, and then suddenly you could breathe fire. It was pretty neat. I loved Kirby.
I saw, again, going back to that documentary, there was, I don't remember his backstory, but there's a guy that they named him for. The real guy's name was something Kirby, and like he helped Nintendo do something.
Huh.
And they, in honor of him helping them do whatever it was, they named the character after him.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I can't remember what
I remember
it was.
that's how they got Mario too. They named Mario after somebody that like had helped him out or something like that. Did you know Kirby wasn't originally pink? Yeah, because originally it was for the old system and it was in black and white. Because I could be wrong, but I feel like the first Kirby game might have been for like the original Game Boy. I could be.
Was it a Game Boy game originally?
I don't remember. I know it was. I think it was on the old Game Boy, but I know it was on the original NES too. But it was in black and white, and so Kirby was just white on the game because it wasn't in color. But even on the box art for the first Kirby game, and the box art is in color. Kirby's white like a ghost. Yeah, they didn't change him to pink until later on.
Do you think he was like supposed to be a ghost? Like,
I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I don't know the origins of Kirby. I'm glad they changed him to pink, though, because he's much cuter. Little pink guy, like Jigglypuff. Him and Jigglypuff are like
they're
so
practically
similar
the
in
same
Smash.
character, yeah.
Yeah, they both can puff up and like fly away.
They have like ridiculous abilities to get back to the
It's
stage.
so hard to get a stage KO against them
Yeah.
because they can just fly right back in. Fuck that.
So it says Kirby was chosen in honor of American lawyer John Kirby, who defended Nintendo in Universal City Studios Inc. versus Nintendo in a case in 1984.
So he saved him money.
Yeah.
That's why.
I don't know what that case was.
It was against Universal.
It alleged that Nintendo's Donkey Kong was a trademark infringement of King Kong.
Is it?
I mean, they were both monkeys and they both have
Named
Kong.
Kong. I guess there's probably a...
But apparently they won the case because...
Yeah.
So...
They didn't have a trademark on the name Kong.
I think that's what it was. I think when Universal didn't have like that trademark or something like that.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, it's probably not a stretch to think that they got the inspiration from King Kong to name it Donkey
for
Kong.
sure, yeah.
Where did Donkey come from, though? He's a gorilla.
Yeah, good question.
I never really thought of Donkey Kong's name, but that doesn't make any goddamn sense. He's a gorilla type.
Yeah, he's not a donkey.
Not at all.
Isn't it so weird to think that Donkey Kong is older than Mario?
Yeah.
Because Mario showed up in Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he was called Jumpman.
Yeah.
Because he jumped.
Man.
As he jumped, man. Yeah, and he was the bad guy.
Binka, binka, bong. Binka, binka, bong.
Yeah.
That's the music.
Donkey Kong was the bad guy.
Yeah.
In the original
He
Donkey
was
Kong.
throwing the barrels.
Yeah. He still does that.
Yeah.
But now he's a good guy.
Dude, Donkey Kong 64? Donkey Kong Country. Is that what it was called?
For the Super Nintendo.
Oh, the
Was
one I'm
Donkey
thinking
Kong
of is for the
Country.
64.
Oh, I don't know.
It was really good.
Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo was one
I
of
do
my
remember
favorite
that.
games
Yeah,
of
that
all
was
time.
good. Yeah.
I played that a lot on the Switch when it came back out on the Super Nintendo Virtual Console on there.
I didn't have it growing up, but I had played it. Like I had rented it a lot, but I was never all that good at it, but I did play it. So.
That was my game. Like the two games I really remember playing for the Super Nintendo were Donkey Kong Country and Super Mario All-Stars that had the first three Marios on it, but they were like remastered for the Super Nintendo. Those are the games I played the most.
The two I played the most, by far, number one was Super Mario World. I still know every little secret and everything of that.
I like never played that one. Like I tried to play on the Switch version, and like I don't know the game mechanics and like how to fly with the cape and all that.
Yeah, there's so much you can skip by flying. And gosh, maybe Yoshi's Island. Played a lot of that.
You liked your Yoshi, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yoshi's heavily featured in both of those.
I think he was introduced in Super Mario World. I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
I think so.
that's right.
And I don't think I ever played Yoshi's Island. Do you play as Yoshi?
Yeah,
you're on an
and that's
island?
that's where they introduced Baby Mario.
Oh.
Yeah, where he like rides on your back and like
Oh, okay.
like if something happens, like he starts floating away in like,
In
a
like a
little
bubble?
bubble. Yeah, and you have to like
okay.
shoot an egg at it.
That's a terrible parenting, Yoshi.
Yeah, because like he'll sit there and cry while he's in the bubble.
Did you ever like let Baby Mario die as like revenge for all those times you dumped Yoshi down the pit to get an extra jump?
Dude, I did that all the time. Yeah,
You had to dump Yoshi so much to get that extra jump.
to get a farther jump. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's the only way you could do it if you would lose your cape.
Yep. There's like even memes about that. Like you come to this certain spot and you just start crying.
Yeah,
It's like, no, there's only one way past this.
yeah. I guess I don't know if Yoshi is my favorite. I think Yoshi's my favorite classic Mario character.
Mine's Toad.
I never liked Toad.
Fuck you.
I never liked to use him because he's short.
That's the point.
I mean, he's fast. He is fast. But I always liked to use Luigi because he had really high jumps.
Yeah, I like Toad. When we played Super Mario 2 a long time ago, did we play through as Toad? I feel like I always picked Toad when I was playing.
I think so.
Yeah,
We had a hard time until we figured out how to do the extra jump, like the high jump,
yeah,
turbo jump, or whatever.
Yeah, because you have to crouch.
Crouch until
Yeah.
it starts flashing.
But I remember there was a part where you had to run through and there was all this shit flying at you, and you had to like jump and then duck and then. Do you remember that part?
Yeah,
It was
was
intense. It was towards the very
I
end.
think it was at ice level, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was slippery too, and I felt like Toad almost had the advantage because he was
As
like,
any of the other characters, you have to dunk. You'd have to duck to.
and like
avoid
some
it.
of them he could just walk under because he was a little bit shorter. But
Yeah.
I remember just flying through it with Toad, and he's got a mushroom on his head, and so I like him. Did you know that's a hat? That's not his head. That's his hat.
Is it really?
Yeah, he can take it off. He just has a bald head underneath.
So they're all like that?
It's super. All the Toad people probably. All the Mushroom Kingdom people. I think so. Yeah, they're like. Do you remember the cartoon, the Mario cartoon?
No, I never watched it.
But you're aware of its existence.
Yeah, I've seen like memes and stuff of it.
Yeah, it was okay. Remember the live action version?
Oh God, the
It was
movie.
terrible.
I learned that's the first movie that was based on a video game.
It was, and it was the worst too.
It set the bar for the trend of most video games. Ugh. Why'd you show me that?
It's Toad with his hat.
So like all the girl toads look like that too?
I don't know. I don't know what Toadette without her hat looks like. But he has those three little hairs.
That's unfortunate.
He looks like Tommy Pickles. What? Somebody, what the fuck?
His
Somebody like
brain.
has his brain exposed if he takes his hat off. Oh, that's bad. But yeah, they actually had him taking his hat off, and and he just looks like a bald guy with 3 little hairs. It's
That's
terrible.
weird.
Yeah, it kind of ruined Toad for me for a while, but then I was like, as long as he keeps his hat on.
Paper Mario was great.
Yeah. That
They
was like
released
revolutionary.
Yeah. I know there's been a few. The most recent one's called like Origami King. I have it and I've played a few levels of it, but I haven't beaten it yet. But
When did that come out for the GameCube, the first Paper Mario?
no, that came out on I don't know. I thought it came out on the 64.
I thought it came out on
or
the
no, I
64.
thought it came out on the Super Nintendo.
No way. There's no way it's that old.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
At
At least the 64.
We'll see. The first Paper Mario was on the Nintendo 64. Okay. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember playing that when I was pretty little.
Yeah, I always thought it was neat, like, because when you turn around, you would see that he was only 2-dimensional.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was great.
Did you ever play the Mario Galaxy games for the Switch or the Wii?
No, but it's on the remaster or the one they came out with recently where there's like it has Super Mario 64,
Mario
Galaxy,
Sunshine.
and Sunshine.
I wonder, because it's very much motion based. I wonder if the Joy-Cons will work as well as the Wiimotes.
Because they
for
work.
that.
They're motion.
Okay.
I always wanted to play it though because I love Rosalina. Like she's one of my favorite characters.
She debuted in that.
Yeah, like you don't play as her, but
She's a character in it. Yeah. Because you collect these little star guys, and she's like the queen of the star guys. And but yeah, because like you would use the little nunchuck part to control him, and then you would actually have to aim the wand at the TV and like click on things. You would see your little cursor, and you'd have to like point it at shit.
Yeah.
And you would collect these like gems, and you could shoot them out and like kind of hit things with it. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds fun. I had a Wii for a couple short stints, but I never had it for a long amount of time.
Dude, I played the shit out of the Wii. Wii Sports, forget about it.
Oh yeah, that was a great game.
Dude, I got a 300 on bowling. I got it down to a science. Like I would set up my character the exact same way every time and hold it and strike just almost every time.
Nice.
Unless I like released it wrong or whatever. But yeah, I got a 300 more than once. Because I'm a boss.
It's crazy though how many of the actual like good notable Nintendo games are either like Mario or Zelda
Or Pokemon.
or Pokemon. Yeah, those
It's
three.
like those are their staples.
Yeah, because my buddy Nate, he was wanting to get a Switch and asked like what other kind of games there were for it, and I'm just trying to think, and like all these ones I'm looking through are like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon.
Yep. That's basically what you got.
Yeah, but they all do it all so well that that's all you really need.
And they do it with different styles. Like there's Super Mario Brothers, but there's also Mario Kart, Mario Tennis.
Mario Tennis is awesome.
So good.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's even different styles as a Zelda game. Like Breath of the Wild's way different than like the
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, and shit like that. And they have Pokemon.
Oh God, so many different Pokemon.
Yeah, there's like Sword and Shield are like the core series, but then they have the game that I got recently, Pokken Tournament. That's a fighting style game with it, and then they also have Smash Brothers, which is like that.
Snap coming out soon,
and Pokemon Snap's coming out soon, and yeah, and
they need to remake Pokemon Stadium or bring that back.
Oh man, hell yeah, that'd be badass.
Where like you could take your save file from Sword and Shield.
And actually use your Pokemon in that.
Yeah.
But I feel like the whole gimmick of that was seeing your Pokemon in 3D.
Yeah, it was.
And on Sword and Shield, you're already seeing them in 3D.
It is kind of essentially the same thing. Yeah, you're
But
right.
the part I loved most about Pokemon Stadium was the Mario Party style mini games that were on there.
Oh yeah.
They were so fun.
Yeah, the one that comes to mind first is the classroom where was it Jigglypuff?
It was Clefairy.
Clefairy.
And you had to remember the order. Fairy. Yeah. Yeah, you had to remember the order like she pointed her fingers.
Yeah.
And then there was a Rattata race one where you would be running and then it was like on a treadmill.
Yep.
And then there'd be barriers you had to jump over. There were so many fun ones.
Yeah, what was there another one that was like in a bakery?
I think so.
I can't-
Yeah. And you had to like get the certain things, but I feel like some of them were bombs or something.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I can't remember which Pokemon you used or what it was, but I feel like it was like assembling food or something like that.
Something like that. There were so many fun ones. What else was there? Yeah. Do you remember the hypno one? You did try, or drowsy, you would try to make your opponents like super sleepy by hitting it, and like when the pendulum was in the middle.
Yeah, I was never any good at that one.
Oh yeah, the Kakuna, and
Yeah, Metapod.
yeah, there'd be rocks jumping on your head, and you had to harden at the right exact time. Oh, Lickitung.
That's what it was.
Yeah, there were a bunch of different foods, and you would try not to eat the bombs or whatever.
Right.
And you would, whoever could eat the most food won. It was so much fun. They need to bring that back.
Yeah, they should. That's what they should do. They should remaster the mini games.
Absolutely. Do you remember the Ekans ring toss?
Yep.
You would try to ring the Diglets.
Yep, I sure do.
Oh man,
Man, that takes me back.
right? I would play if. Yeah, they actually better not, because then I'd probably skip work. Tyler, you coming in today? No, Pokemon Stadium released for the Switch, and they have all the mini games on there. So I'm gonna be out for a while.
That was another one that I didn't actually have, but I always tried to rent from the video store, but they almost never, like, it was always out because it was so popular.
For my Nintendo
had
64, I remember having Pokemon Stadiums 1 and 2, and that's like all I remember having for it. That was like the reason I had the console.
I played the shit out of it. It was fun.
I'm trying to remember playing another 64 game. I think I might have had Super Mario 64, but I didn't play it all that much.
I played the shit out of that. My grandma had it, and I played it a lot. She had a 64 because for whenever the kids would come over, all I played on the 64 was Zelda Ocarina of Time. And then, Pokemon Snap. What else?
Did you play Hey You Pikachu?
I never had it, no. I think I rented it once, and I think that was the end of it.
Yeah, I rented it, and it was so frustrating. There was supposedly a Easter egg where if you said PlayStation to him, he got angry because it was like a rival.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers 64, I played a lot.
Okay, I think I had that, and I think I had Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, me too. And I had Mario Party 2, I think, was one of the ones for that. Everybody played GoldenEye.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was never any good at it, but I played it.
Yeah. What was the one guy that was shorter than everybody else?
Odd Job.
Odd Job.
Yeah,
and he was like cheating because his hit area was so much smaller.
So small, yeah.
You know what my grandma had at her house for when we came over and played?
What's
a
that?
Sega Saturn.
Oh wow.
Do you remember that?
I never had a Sega because we never had a TV that was compatible.
You never had a Sega anything?
We had one briefly, but it didn't work very well, and we got rid of it.
I played my Sega Genesis more than my Super Nintendo. Dude, I loved that thing. Sonic the Hedgehog's my shit.
I'm shit at Sonic. I'm terrible at it. It
Oh
moves
my
too
God.
fast for me.
I love Sonic. I recently downloaded the Genesis collection on the PlayStation 5 because it's so fun. Dude, I played the shit out of my Sega. But no, she had a Sega Saturn. That was the first one that played discs.
Okay.
And it was garbage. It was hot garbage. She had like a racing game on it and some really bad 3D Sonic game on it, and it was trash, but it was the only game console that she had at her house, and so that was what we played.
Wasn't the Dreamcast notoriously bad?
It wasn't bad. I liked playing it. My uncle had it when we would visit him. He had one, and like Crazy Taxi was on there, and Crazy Taxi is like the best game in the world. Do you know Crazy Taxi?
I know of it. I've never
So
played
it had The Offspring as the soundtrack, so already a +1. And you were this crazy taxi, and you would pick people up and drive them to their destinations, but like it was wild. Like it wasn't tame. Like you'd be driving through buildings and shit, and the passengers would be yelling at you because of how you were driving. And you tried to get people places on time. And it also had another relatively decent like 3D Sonic game on it. That's all I remember playing. I mostly remember playing Crazy Taxi.
It's a pretty bold statement saying it's the best game of all time.
Oh, it's the best game that's ever happened. Like, Crazy Taxi is better than The Last of Us. I almost said that with a straight face. No, as far as like, I'm just saying, like, it's up there as far as like fun games. It's so
Okay.
fun. it was probably the best game on the Dreamcast, and that's saying something,
I feel
right?
like I just thought I remembered it like really not selling well and just not
it
doing
did.
well.
It sold horribly, and I don't know why. Because I always had fun with it, but I was a little kid, so I didn't like.
What came out? Was that when PlayStation and Xbox were first out? Or
I want to say yeah, but I feel like Sega, and I know Nintendo does this too. They release at a different time. Like Sony and Microsoft always release their newer consoles around the same time.
Yeah.
But then like the Switch came out way before the PS5 and stuff. So
well, yeah, because Nintendo doesn't really compete against
no,
Microsoft and PlayStation.
it's funny. I think we talked about that before. Like you have your Xbox fanboys, your PlayStation fanboys, but then everybody loves Nintendo.
Everyone has Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk to people at work, and I'm like, you got a PlayStation? They're like, no, I got an Xbox. I'm like, ugh. And then like we'll talk for a while. I'm like, you got a Switch? They're like, hell yeah, I got a Switch. Everybody loves Nintendo.
It's just, they offer that certain kind of game that you just can't get on PlayStation or Xbox.
Right. It's just the fun style of games,
Yeah.
like the platformers and the stuff like that.
Right.
Shit, I was gonna say something, but yeah, I'd have to look up when the Dreamcast came out. But for like what it was, I thought it was fun. The controller was fucking weird.
Yeah, I
It was
remember
like,
the controller
it was
was like
square.
yeah.
And you could put like this memory card thing in it that had a screen on itself. It was this whole thing.
Yeah, I remember the screen in the middle of the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was trying too hard. Like it had potential, but at that point, I want to say PlayStation was already a thing, and like it just did not compete well against the like Nintendo 64, the PlayStation, and stuff like that. So let's see. Sega Dreamcast. It came out in 1998 in Japan, and then 99 in North America. I feel like that's around the PlayStation.
Was that PlayStation 2 possibly?
Let me see. So 99.
I don't know.
The original PlayStation. Wow, the PlayStation came out in 95 in North America.
So it must have been PlayStation 2.
Was
I don't know when that
PlayStation 2
came
out
out.
by 99? PlayStation 2 came out in 2000.
Okay.
So shortly after.
So it's considered probably more of that generation.
Probably.
PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
So yeah, people probably, comparing it to those, I can see why it didn't do very well. Like it was no PS2.
Right. So you mentioned controllers, bad controllers. My top 2 worst controllers that I've experienced anyway, that I've played with. Number 2 worst, the original Xbox. It was huge.
Thing was ginormous. And
It was like,
you have big hands.
yeah. And then the number 1 worst one was the Wii U.
Oh really?
I
loved that.
it was okay. For one thing, it's like 3 feet long, 3 feet wide. I mean, it's ridiculous.
You had to put your hands out as far as you could reach
It's like
to
the
be able
size.
to hold it.
It's like the size of a brick.
It's like trying to pick up a picnic table or something like long ways. Like you had
Yeah.
to stretch your arms out.
Yeah. It was just weird, and it's like I'm looking at this screen to like do things on here, and I'm like, having to look on the screen on the controller, and then like looking up at my regular screen, and it's like it was just this whole thing.
I loved it so much.
Oh, I hated it. I only kept it for like a month, if that, and then I sold it because I thought it was stupid.
I had a few games that you didn't need to play on the whatever they call, like the gamepad or whatever they called that main controller. And I had a pro controller for it, but I would choose to play the gamepad because it was so comfortable in my hands. Like I loved it.
Well, like, okay, the one I had mainly for it was the original Super Mario Maker. Or was it just Mario Maker, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's like, so it's got the main display on your TV screen, but then like you had to like choose your pieces and stuff that you're moving around on the gamepad screen. But like, it was like you were having to move the piece around on the gamepad screen but you couldn't see it. Like you had to look up to your regular screen to see where you were placing it. And it was
I guess I
really
can see
weird.
why that'd be annoying. The games that I bought the Wii U because that Pokken Tournament game came out for it, which is like a Tekken style Pokemon fighter. It's so fun. But it originally released for the Wii U, and I was like, a Pokemon fighting game? I bought the entire console to play that game. And then I also played Splatoon on it.
Okay.
I love Splatoon. And On Pokken Tournament, I don't think the gamepad screen really did anything. And then for Splatoon, I think it showed the map. So you would see, because it's basically like a shooter game, but it's like with paint and stuff. It's so like the gameplay itself would be on the TV screen, but then you could like look down at your gamepad and see like the map and see like, because it's kind of like you try to paint the area as well as try to paint your opponents, and whoever had the most area covered wins. And you could see like, oh, they have paint up there, I need to go up there and paint. So it kind of worked for that.
I just feel like that's an inconvenience, having to look down at your controller screen, whereas they could just put a little map on the screen itself.
It's a bit gimmicky, but I liked it for
now
what
that
it was.
Wasn't like the Switch where you could like play the game solely on the screen, right? Because
sort of, there were certain things like Mario Kart you could play on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I remember doing that. Like, I would play against friends when they came over or whatever, and they would play and look at the TV, and I could sit in a chair that wasn't even facing the TV and just play on that. So that was all right.
So that was like the definite progenitor, is that the right word, to the Switch? Like, that's definitely where like the Switch evolved from, because like Switch came right after.
It was Wii, then Wii U, then Switch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
The Switch is just almost like a perfect console.
The Switch is incredible. Like,
it's like
it might be the best console of all time.
It really is up there, like, because it just converts so easily to a handheld, and the screen is actually big enough.
Yeah.
And it feels good enough that like you can just sit there and play it.
Yeah, I love it so much. It's like,
I went the longest time without having one, and then I finally got one and I loved it.
yeah, I wasn't sure how well it would work. Like, it's like, as a home console, I'm like, well, it's a handheld that you're just putting on your TV. Is it really going to be powerful enough to play games as well as other consoles on the TV? But it's impressive for what it is. And it still plays off cartridges, which is insane.
Well, it's like I don't have my Switch to play games like real looking games.
Yeah, like, I'm not playing Call of Duty on my Switch.
Right. Yeah, I have my Switch to play things like Mario and Zelda
and Pokemon. Yeah.
Which are cartoony.
Right.
And it just excels at that. Like, the colors are so vibrant, and
it's funny, they've actually released games, like, I feel like they have Call of Duties for the Switch, and I know they did Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch, and I'm just like, I wonder how that would runs on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I know, like, traditionally sports games don't do very well at all
on Nintendo.
Yeah.
So you did your top 2 least favorite controllers. Both of mine are different. My second least favorite is the original NES, because it was a
rectangle, yeah,
and it was uncomfortable in the hands, and like the corners would dig into your hands. There was no good way to hold it.
I think for me it was just nostalgic.
But it's terrible. It's not ergonomic.
It's not great.
It's not ergonomic at all, and it was bad. But
that was the early days, though.
The Super Nintendo's controller was fantastic. That thing was super comfortable.
It was still kind of small.
Oh, it was incredibly small, but I have tiny hands, and especially when I played back then, I was like 8.
Yeah,
so I had really tiny hands.
Yeah, I mean,
then,
it is for kids mostly. So,
and you might hate me for this, but my least favorite controller of all time is the Nintendo 64. It has 3 handles, and I only have 2 hands.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird, but I mean, you almost never ever used the leftmost one with the D-pad.
Not a whole lot.
That was very, like, almost never. Like, whenever you pick it up, you're just picking up.
You're holding it by the middle one and the right.
And those two, to me, were comfortable. Like, I was fine.
But if you need the left bumper for any reason, it's on the far left.
Yeah, but I feel like that wasn't even used all that much.
I don't think so.
I don't think they used the bumpers
and then the Z button was on the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like the trigger.
You need 3 hands.
I don't know. No, the Z's you control with your index finger.
I know. But then if you needed the left bumper and the Z button.
I don't think they ever designed any games to have
I would hope not.
None of the ones
Imagine them designing a game where you had to press left and right bumper and the Z button. Right. They're like... That's when you hold 2 of them and have your buddy hold the other side. Yeah. So you need 3 hands to play it.
I feel like in the 3 games that I always played, Mario, Zelda, and Smash, like, the only controls I ever needed were Z, A, B, and then the the C buttons.
Oh yeah, the C buttons. Those were weird, right?
Yeah.
That's how you chose your attacks in Pokemon Stadium.
Yep, I do remember that. Yeah, it's definitely weird. Like how did that get through like their pitch meeting?
Yeah.
They're like, you know what we should have for a controller?
Let's have three
things
grippers.
to hold on to.
Yeah.
Or they're like, well, we only have 2 hands.
Yeah, but hear me out.
Yeah, but now you have more options.
But now they can hold it 3 different ways. I love it.
Yeah, I wonder how that got out of the pitch phase.
What's the best controller of all time? 3, 2, 1.
DualShock. Oh wait, DualSense. Yeah,
the DualSense,
the
newest
one. I had
one.
to think about it because, like, in terms of feel, I like the DualShock 4 the most.
That's fair.
But in terms of actually what it does, the DualSense for sure.
Oh my god, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like, we've already talked about it, but like it blows me away like every time I use it.
Yeah, like I thought it was just this gimmicky thing when I first read about it. And then once I actually was experiencing it through Astro's Playroom.
Yeah, once you feel like the vibrations and the resistance and the triggers.
Yeah.
It's like
The triggers are the craziest part of the whole thing.
yeah, it kind of ruins old games for me now because there's a game called Control that Ty recommended to me. And it's a lot of fun, but I, for whatever reason, got the PS4 version on my game.
Because you downloaded it when it was free.
Yeah, I
on your
downloaded it
PS4.
on my PS4, yeah. So I didn't get the PS5 version. And so it doesn't have all the crazy haptic vibrations programmed and the trigger resistance programmed. And so I'm playing it, I'm like, well, this is stupid. So it like ruins games if it doesn't have that now because I expect it.
I'm playing The Last of Us 2 right now again, and yeah, it's the same way. Like there's no haptic feedback.
And like when you pull the trigger on the gun, it's just there's nothing.
It's just
there.
normal.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is stupid.
I did play Control on the 5 though, and the it's not to make you not want to play it anymore, but
I'm gonna have to buy the PS5 version to play that game.
yeah, the just shooting on it is really cool.
Yeah,
It's an insane game. Like I don't know if you've played it anymore since, but it's just really bizarre.
that's crazy to think about. So like, how far controllers have come from the like. Remember the Atari controller? It was a joystick and it had one button.
Yeah, it was just a joystick with a button.
Yeah,
But they were so much simpler at that time. You had like Breakout and Pong
Pac-Man
and Pac-Man and
Yeah.
Frogger.
Remember what was Pitfall? That was good.
Which one was
the
that?
Shit. You would be like running through a swamp and you had to like jump and
Oh.
swing over like alligator
Yeah,
pits.
I've
and
seen
shit.
that one. I don't think I actually ever played it.
It was
but I know
super
it.
fun.
Dig Dug was always like my favorite.
By far the best classic arcade game of all time is
Yeah.
Dig Dug.
It was great.
So good. You had
I
that
think-
like air pump and you would like explode your enemies.
Yeah. I think Pac-Man is kind of overrated. Like,
Take it back.
I was just, I don't know.
It's over. It's super fun.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's
fun.
it's okay.
I like it.
I guess I was just never any good at it.
That's the issue. You suck.
Yeah,
I was really good
I
at
suck.
Pac-Man. I think even like as a kid, like on Miss Pac-Man, like do you remember the cut scenes in Miss Pac-Man? Like, oh my god.
I don't think I ever played Miss Pac-Man.
Okay, it's Pac-Man, but it's better. You have a bow in your hair. It's its whole
I know
thing.
of it. I just
She had
never played it.
eyelashes. And so there would be like these cut scenes where like Pac-Man was meeting Miss Pac-Man and they would like fall in love or whatever. But like, and so it would go as you progress. And I think I remember beating Miss Pac-Man a few different times and like seeing the end, which was crazy to me. Yeah.
Well, I was
Loved Pac-Man.
listening to the most recent Citation Needed where they did Tetris.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know there was an actual end to Tetris because they
Yeah.
mentioned that like
Yeah, and
if
there's
you
like a
beat it-
rocket ship taking off.
Yeah, I never knew that you could actually beat Tetris. I thought it was just something you kept playing to get a high score.
You know why I never knew you could beat Tetris? Because I'm fucking shit at Tetris. I am so bad.
I was always good at Tetris.
Dude, I lose like the first level. Like I
Really?
am not good. I think it's because I never played it right. I was a young child when if I try to play it now, I'd probably be better. But I would get impatient and I would leave gaps in my structure and I wouldn't like build off to the side and wait for the long piece. I would
Yeah.
just like I did it all wrong. I was no good at Tetris.
Yeah, I think back when I
Best
played
theme song though, like
oh
the
yeah,
soundtrack.
Dun,
Oh my
dun,
God.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, so good.
yeah, I remember having it for my original Game Boy, the brick.
Yeah, that's what it came out on, man. That episode was interesting though, to figure out all the like loops they had to jump through to try to
Oh
get
yeah,
it
that was
released on
crazy.
different things.
That was nuts. It's
Yeah.
like nobody knew what was going on.
Nobody. They were selling this guy's game and he didn't know about it.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, okay.
like he didn't end up making any money on it.
he
Until
did eventually.
later.
Yeah, but like people were making millions off his game, and he's just like, "Oh, I didn't make it for money. I made it so that people were having fun." But you knew he was crying himself to sleep every night.
yeah,
He's a millionaire now. It's okay.
yeah. I didn't realize it was only made in like the 80s. Is that what they said? Mm-hmm. Just seems like it would be older than that. But I mean, I guess.
They didn't really have computers.
Yeah, that's true.
That were available to the public before that. The 80s were so cool. I wish I lived in the 80s. When were you born?
87.
So you don't really remember the 80s per se.
No, I'm more of a 90s
Yeah.
kid.
I'm a 90s kid.
Power Rangers. Dude, I was looking up. Good Lord, excuse me.
I was looking up Twine.
I was looking up on Amazon the old Zords, the toys. Did you ever have those?
The Megazords?
Yeah.
Yeah, like where
Like
they
you
would
could,
like
connect them
combine
together and make
yeah.
the Megazords. Dude, those are so expensive now.
I should have kept mine.
I know. I wish I would have kept mine. They were so awesome. I loved them. I don't know why I ever got rid of them.
I had it, yeah, because like the feet were like tigers or something, or was that
One of them was a
that
tiger.
Voltron? Yeah,
One was a tiger. One was a triceratops.
yeah.
The middle was the bear.
Uh-huh.
The head was the pterodactyl.
The head was a pterodactyl.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
Kimberly, the
Okay.
pink one. And then the T-Rex was both of the arms? Or was it one of the arms?
Something like that.
And then the White Ranger was what was it? I'm thinking of I'm combining my generations here, because the ninja one was the Ninja Zords was where the white one was a falcon. It was like a bear.
Okay, so this one, the white one, looks like an elephant. But that might be a new
No,
one.
that was the black. That was the Black Ranger. Yeah.
Then where the hell's the white one?
That was the original. The white one wasn't in that set. The white
Okay.
one didn't come in until the next set. That's actually
I think I had this exact one.
I think I did too. That's the second generation, or that's the first generation one.
Okay. Blue Ranger was always my favorite.
I think I was like the Red Ranger.
Well,
Jason.
those are our favorite colors.
Well, green
so
was
that tracks.
green was my favorite color at the time, but I always liked Jason.
Whoa, this one looks like the White Ranger's the arms in the newer one.
See, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, me neither. How
Look
cool
up-
was Power Rangers though?
Oh, so cool.
So cool.
Look up Ninja Zord.
What the heck's a Ninja Zord?
Remember the movie? The one with Ivan Ooze?
Nope. Whoa. That one?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a frog for the legs, and then a gorilla is one of the arms, the blue wolf,
Oh, yeah. I had this one.
the yellow bear, and then the head was the crane.
Yeah,
Kimberly.
I had this one because I remember the legs folding in on the arms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the falcon was the white one, and he came on and it like was the wings on the back.
Yes, I
Yep.
had that exact toy.
Yeah, me too. I loved that one so much.
Dude, what's that selling for?
Like over $200.
$300, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the falcon part, the white part is going for $250.
Yeah, that was the best one. That was the best one of all of them.
I had that toy.
I did too.
I could sell that for
Probably got it for like
$300.
$20 when it came
like
out.
minimum, maximum.
I remember
Dude.
thinking it was such a big deal. Like, I'm like, Mom and Dad, I know this is like such a huge deal, but for like $20, can you get me the Power Rangers set?
Because $20 for a toy back then?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And now they're selling Lego kits for like $150.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to build Hogwarts? You better have $200.
Yeah, for like five cents worth of plastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it does not cost them a lot to make Legos.
Lego's got to be like the most cost, like the most income based
Oh, they have to have
toy
like
company.
they probably profit so much.
Profit ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they produce plastic bricks that cannot be that expensive. They literally shoot the plastic into a mold and then like make the bricks.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the money probably goes into the design, because the designs are complicated. You got to pay somebody to come up with a design and like make it structurally sound and all that. It takes some engineering,
Right.
so they have to pay their people to do that. But still, like
there's small sets.
Even with all that, they have to be one of the most profitable companies of all time.
The little small, like one of the cheapest sets you can get is like $20.
Yeah, $20 to build a little car.
Yeah, it's like just a tiny little like scene from something.
Yeah, it has like 20 pieces, and you have to pay like $1 a piece.
Stupid.
Yeah, but I was looking at it in the Lego aisle last time I was at Walmart, and yeah, they had like the giant Hogwarts castle. I was like, oh man, that looks so cool, because I love building Legos.
Me too.
And then I looked at the price tag; it was like $160. I was like, it's cool, but it's not $160 cool.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them like the Death Star, I know, and the Millennium Falcon.
Oh man,
are so expensive.
Yeah, they'd be so fun to build though. Like the last couple of Lego things, I don't even know if they were actually official Lego brand. Actually, yeah, I think they were. But I got a couple of Overwatch characters that I built, and even those, they're tiny, and I feel like they were like $20-$25 a piece.
Yeah,
worth it. Lot. Worth it. Worth every penny.
I thought one of them was a Christmas present, or both of them. Yeah,
but still, like, I mean, I think they were presents from like Lexi, so that's my money.
So, yeah,
she bought me them with my money, so. But yeah,
I don't know what the last one. I think the last one I got was just like some little DC figures, like just the little mini figures by themselves from like some third party.
Yeah, I want to buy like a big Lego set. I think it's worth it. I want to build Hogwarts.
I do love Legos, but I'm apprehensive because one of the times I made one, when I was working on one, I had a seizure. Back when I would still have them.
Oh yeah, because you said like when you would focus on something like a puzzle.
Yeah,
or something.
Like puzzles. A puzzle did it to me once too. But I don't know if it still would, because I'm on a good medication that works. But
you liked playing like puzzly video games, and you seem to do fine with that.
Yeah.
So. Hell, roll the dice, Ty. Don't be a pussy. What's a seizure between you and Legos?
Right.
I'll be there I'll have 911 ready on my phone. I'll be there. But I'll be pissed if you knock over the tower.
Yeah, like we get it almost done. I start having one like smashing it all to pieces.
And I just start,
damn it, Ty!
I just start punching you in the face as you're seizing.
I wake up, I'm like, man, what hell happened to my face? Oh, you fell straight on your face.
Yeah, you seized and you just fell right on your face. It was crazy. Like over and over again.
What's this? It looks like a fist mark.
Yeah, but why are your knuckles hurt? Yeah, I was so angry that you were seizing that I started punching the wall and nothing else. Oh, God. Ty used to have seizures.
Yep.
I don't think we've talked about that on the show.
I think I mentioned it maybe once about the puzzles. But
it's been a long time. When was the last one you remember happening?
Maybe around 2010, 11-ish.
Okay. So you're on a good no seizure streak. Mm-hmm. Is that when you got on the medication you're on now?
I don't remember when I actually got started on this medication. I remember when I first started having them, the doctor I had would just... The medication he gave me wasn't working very well. And like instead of trying to change it up, he just kept adding more and more of the same one. No. And it just didn't do it.
Yeah, that's... I mean, sometimes I guess it's like, yeah, well, that maybe it's too low of a dose, but like maybe try something else.
Yeah. The main thing that happened to start with was I would like be sitting there writing, and all of a sudden my hand would jerk like that, and I would like toss my pencil when I was in school, and it was always really embarrassing. But like anytime I was focusing on something, like my hands would jerk and I would kind of like spaz out for a sec. And then I eventually had like a full blown, they're called grand mal seizures. And that was on a bus, like right before we were getting ready to go to a tennis match.
Wow. Are you like conscious when that happens, or do you just not remember it at all?
No, you kind of black out.
Okay. That's so scary.
I still remember it. I can remember it perfectly. Like it just happened. Like I was bending, or like I was tying my shoe and I raised my hand up and my hand was normal like this, but it felt like it was like this. It was the weirdest sensation. Like
so it felt like your hand was like turned over the wrong way.
It felt like somebody was twisting my hand the opposite direction, but I was sitting there looking at it and it was normal.
That's weird.
It was weird. And then like I just blacked out.
And then you woke up like in the hospital?
I wasn't in the hospital. It's not necessarily an emergency situation as long as it's under like 5 minutes.
Oof.
Because there's nothing they can really do for you.
Just have to stop you from swallowing your tongue.
Yeah. I think that's a misconception. I don't think that happens a lot.
Okay.
But
I know
you can like bite your teeth and bite your tongue. Yeah.
Because you clench your jaw.
Mm-hmm. All your muscles tense
up.
up.
Tongue was out and you clenched, like it could be bad.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think I just remember waking up drowsy in the bus.
Were your friends there? Like, were the other kids like, whoa, what the hell?
It's actually funny because like I'm definitely not going to mention a name because the person who I was sitting beside was an asshole, and I always he was a preppy kid who always like picked on me.
Sure.
But he was on the tennis team, and I was sitting beside him or near him, and I think he saw me have that, and he was never mean to me again.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if it was like kind of shocked or he felt bad or whatever, but yeah.
Damn. Yeah, fuck that.
Yep.
Like, I feel like everybody has those twitches, like where you said where your hand kind of twitches. But yeah, I've luckily never had to deal with anything that insane.
I don't know how many I've had total. I think I had like 3 or 4
that were like that.
The big ones.
Okay.
But it was so bizarre because like when I would come out of it, like you literally have no short-term memory. You can't remember anything short like that had happened recently.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't remember anything that had happened earlier that day, and then it slowly comes to you.
That's so odd. Yeah, I've never had to deal with short-term memory loss like that. Like, I have shit memory, like as far as like remembering to do things. Like I'll be like, oh, I gotta remember to take this to work, and I definitely don't take that to work. But like actually forgetting things that happened is not anything I've ever had to deal with.
Yeah, if that's what amnesia is like, I hope I never get amnesia.
Or like Alzheimer's.
Or Alzheimer's, yeah, because it's no fun.
To me, is the worst disease that exists.
Yeah, my mom, one of my grandparents had to go through it. My grandpa.
Yeah,
it was just bad.
I can't imagine anything worse, really. Like,
it's hard on everybody. It's hard on the person who has it, but it's also hard on the family.
I think it's harder on the family.
On the family, yeah.
Because you lose your loved one without actually losing them. Like, they're still alive, but the person you knew is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's terrible.
They call you like by the name of somebody they knew in their childhood. They don't know who you actually are. So.
Yeah. And so it's like they might as well be gone, and you're just watching them struggle to remember things. Yeah, it's terrible. I've luckily never had to deal with anybody in my life having it, but I hope I never do. It's just the whole idea of that is just the scariest thing. Fuck that. Humans are not designed properly.
Right, yeah. One of the more good examples of proof that there's either no God or God doesn't give a shit if he's there. Oh my God.
Yeah, for real. Like, if he exists, like, is there a better definition of evil than that happening? Like, so what are you going to do today? I'm going to make them, like, forget who they are.
Make their family members, like, suffer. And
why? No.
I'm just bored.
I've already made like 35 different kinds of cancer. There's only so much cancer I can do. I might as well do something else.
Puppy cancer.
Yeah. Puppy cancer exists.
Yeah.
Therefore, God doesn't. Or if he does, he's not worthy of being worshipped.
Yeah. What's that phrase? If God's all powerful, then he's not all good. And if he's all good, then he's not all powerful.
He cannot be both. And that's
but humans have free will. He gave the humans free will.
Or we just have free will.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before.
We have, but like, I always hate having a conversation with somebody, and I consider myself pretty closeted still about my atheism, because like it's an uncomfortable subject to bring up with somebody who's a believer. And so, like, whenever somebody finds out and they're like, well, why don't you believe? It's like, it's a hard it's a hard question to answer, because, like, why don't I believe in unicorns? Like, well, I don't. And it's like, and so I usually turn it around on them. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter why I don't. Like, why do you? You know, because the burden of proof isn't on me.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody comes up to me and says, oh, I think unicorns are real. I'm like, okay, why? Well, why don't you? Prove they don't exist. Like, no, fuck you. You prove they do, or I'm not going to believe you.
They believe in it because that's what they were taught to believe, because their parents taught them that, whose parents taught them that, whose parents taught them that.
Right. But...
And if you were born on the other side of the earth, you'd be a devout Muslim.
Exactly.
Or Buddhist, or Islam, or anything.
I think I actually had a conversation with my dad about that, because when he found out that I was an atheist, he tried to talk to me about it and whatnot, and he was like, something like, I said something like, do you think if you were born in the Middle East, you'd still be a Christian? He was like, well, no, I'd probably believe in their religion. I'm like, well, then why are you so sure that yours is right?
Yeah, it's like, do you not see the fault in what you just said?
Yeah.
Like,
he's like,
if you would have been born in ancient Greece, you would have believed in Zeus. And
exactly. But now we consider that mythology.
Yeah.
And people kind of hate me for this, but I call Christianity, I call it Christian mythology, because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, think of all those gods you don't believe in.
Yeah, I believe in one less.
Yeah, and then just subtract one from that.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's an atheist about
every other god.
About most gods, except their one.
Yeah, it's like you don't believe in 2,999 gods, and I don't believe in 3,000.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Right.
Yeah, one of the greatest quotes, I think, is like, when you understand why you don't believe in all the other gods, then you'll understand why I don't believe in yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like people talk about how silly it is to think of like Zeus and Poseidon. And,
yeah, it's like, wow, people actually believed in that.
Yeah.
Now, but my dead carpenter that did magic tricks, now that is real.
I can turn water into wine.
Yeah.
Turn around.
Yeah, imagine a bunch of people up on a mountain and like there were gods and they controlled the lightning. That's weird. Anyway, Noah had a boat and he put every animal on it.
Literally every single species in the entire world. 2 of all of them.
Yep.
Except for those dinosaurs. Those pesky dinosaurs.
Yeah, they missed the boat.
And those penguins that managed to get from Antarctica.
Do they live?
North Pole? I don't know.
North Pole.
I don't remember which one.
I think they live in the North Pole.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, the kangaroos hopped across the ocean from Australia and then back all the way without leaving a single bone behind.
Yep. And those surfing monkeys.
That happened. But they didn't surf on surfboards.
No, but they were surfing. They were actually surfing.
They were surfing like surfboards.
Hang 10.
Yeah. Can we talk about hanging 10 for a minute? That doesn't make any sense, like, with physics. How can you stand on the very tippy top of your surfboard and not just dip right into the water? They do it, though.
Have you not seen them do it?
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, I don't get how it works, but I know it. They do it.
I watched it today, and because there was some kind of surfing montage on my Facebook for some reason. I don't know, but it was there. And this dude was hanging 10. He's standing on the very front of his long ass surfboard, and he's not just dipping straight into the water.
I don't get it. Yeah,
I don't get it.
I have no idea how. I don't know if it has something to do with the forward momentum and the water under the board moving forward, keeping the board up. I don't know.
Well, the water moves backwards ish. No, I don't know. And then the board has that fin.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know what I'm talking about, though. I don't know if that has something to do with it.
I have no idea. I'm not a surfer.
It doesn't make sense.
I'm not a surfer or a physicist, therefore I have no idea.
Well, I'm both, and I went surfing once.
Did you?
Yeah, and I experience physics every day.
Yeah, you would not catch me surfing. I don't swim in fish water.
Most water is fish water.
Not pool water.
Yeah, but there's more lakes and oceans and ponds than pools. You won't swim in a pond? Why?
Nope.
Because there's fish?
Yeah, I don't want like fish coming up underneath me and stuff.
They leave you alone, man. Actually, no, they don't. There's this one pond that I swam in. Most fish leave you alone. There were these fish, and I don't know what they were, like piranhas or what the fuck.
Piranhas. Were you in South America in the Amazon?
I was in a man-made pond in Ohio, but these were fucking piranhas because they ate me alive. So I was in the pool or in the pond, and naturally I was shirtless because I was swimming, and these fish were biting my nipples. Just biting down on my nipples. I would be swimming along, and I'd look down, and it would be like looking at me, and I'm like, don't you do it. And then just,
See, that would freak me the shit out.
yeah, I got right out of the pond. There was-
I couldn't handle that.
yeah, I never gotten back in that pond, but that's the only time it ever happened. I don't know what was wrong with those fucking fish, but it's not like my nipples don't look like worms. They're just nipples.
You got long, pointy nipples?
Yeah, I have these, my nipples like wiggle like worms. They're like an inch long.
No, man, I'm a coward when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know the last time I actually went fishing, like 50 some years ago. Like, I couldn't put my own worm on the needle or the hook. The hook.
Uh-huh.
And if I caught something, I wasn't going to touch the fish to take it off.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that. I would put my worm on the hook, and I have taken my own fish off the hook, but I don't like to. Mm-mm. Fishing is not something that I enjoy, though.
I feel like I could enjoy it today.
Ugh.
And as a kid, it was like so boring, but like I feel like it's something I could enjoy more today.
I enjoy it until like I've caught a couple fish, and I'm like, okay, done. Because like I don't get how people go out and they're like, yeah, I fished for like 8 hours today, caught 3 fish. I'm like, what?
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of people going out and they like, yeah, I didn't catch anything, but they're like, yeah, but I loved it. I had so much fun. Like, so you sat
Because
on
they
a
sat
boat.
there and drank beer.
Yeah, but I don't drink beer, and I don't like being out on a boat.
Right, but that's why they had so much.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's,
I don't like being on a boat. I don't like...
being
I
on
don't
a
know.
boat's fine, but not for like 5 hours in a row. I'll
do
go
not
out
like
and, like,
water.
I like being in water. I've always liked water, but like I like canoeing and shit, but like fishing is just boring to me. Like I'll catch a fish and then I'll throw it back, and then I'll catch another fish, and then I'm like, okay, I already did that. I went fishing. Like I don't feel like doing this again for the next 3 hours.
You can fish in Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
You can fish on Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I have more fun fishing on Animal Crossing than I ever did fishing in real life.
Because that doesn't take so long.
No.
When you
and
do
you can
that.
see the fish. And so you just throw it out there.
Well, sometimes it looks like a fish. Sometimes it's just a tire that looked like a fish.
Yeah, somehow the tire actually bit.
Yeah, and like resisted.
Yeah. Or like a boot,
It's
or
like,
like
oh,
a
it's a
tin
boot.
can or
Okay,
something.
I guess I have a sentient boot that swims.
Yeah, I should be able to sell that boot for a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's sentient.
Remember Animal Crossing?
Yeah, loved it.
Can't imagine what my place looks like right now.
It has cockroaches.
Oh, probably. I'm sure everyone's probably dead.
Meh. You don't have to provide for them. They're doing fine. You're probably dead.
Well, yeah. Yeah, my guy's most likely
It's
dead.
so funny. Like, if you get back on, like, soon, because I've played, like, once every couple of months, but every time I get back on, your guy, like, emerges from the house with, like, bed head and stuff, because you haven't been there in so long, and then he, like, shakes his bed head out, and then if you go inside, your house literally has cockroaches, and you
That's
have to,
funny.
like, run around and stomp them all, and then, like, it's so sad because you stomp the cockroaches and you'll see their little ghosts floating
Oh, no.
and then, like, once you get them all out of your house, he, like, celebrates. He's like, and a prompt comes up, like, yeah, you got all the cockroaches. The first time I saw him, I was like, can I catch them and, like, bring one to Blathers? But you can't, which is silly. You'd think you should be able to catch one and take them to Blathers
Yeah.
for your museum.
It was so funny because during the pandemic, that was like the most popular game, and I feel like almost nobody plays it anymore, or it's at least not as popular on
It's
social
less
media.
popular, yeah, because everybody was stuck in quarantine and had nothing to do, so we played Animal Crossing. But now that I'm back to work and stuff, it's like that style of game you have to devote some time to, like, every day if you want to
Yeah.
play it right. And
Yeah.
so now I don't have the time to devote to it. And plus, the time I do have to play games now is at night, and since Animal Crossing goes off of the real clock,
It'd always be nighttime.
yeah, and, like, your shops and stuff are only open during the day. So, and I don't like to cheat and, like, set my Switch
Yeah.
clock to daytime hours to play and, like, time travel.
That's why I was never good at like getting the onion sales, because it was like early Sunday morning. Or
Turnips.
Turnips, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
It was like Sunday morning or something like that.
Yeah, I would buy all these turnips and then I would miss selling them and then they'd go bad. And that's why I stopped playing. Because I had a whole living room full of rotten turnips. Because you can't put them in storage.
Right.
You had to just throw them on your floor.
Oh, goodness.
Great game.
So my future self is really going to hate us when I'm having to sit in and trying to come up with a description of this episode.
We've gone so far.
This is by far the most things we've ever talked about.
It has to be, and especially like the most disconnected.
Yeah. So many things are not connected at all.
But somehow we got from one to the next. We 7 degrees of Kevin Baconed ourselves into somehow getting from. Well, we started with like
projectors,
and we were talking about Nintendo earlier, and then ended on Animal Crossing. So it's like a circle.
Yeah, I guess
it's a very wavy circle.
It didn't start out as a circle, but I guess it ended as a circle.
It ended as a circle. It started as like
it was like a line zigzag.
Yeah, it was like a heartbeat line
that then started into a circle and I guess finished.
Yeah.
Again,
is what happened.
I'm sorry, future Ty. I know you're probably like, oh, they just shut up and stop talking. So.
Yeah, I'm so sorry too. I'll help you come up with a title or something.
I would hope so with all the different shit we've talked about.
Right. But yeah, so we're gonna stop before we get onto a different tangent.
This is way too long of an episode.
It's way too long. But I mean, parts of it earlier were kind of like empty. You might be able to cut some of that out.
Yeah, more editing.
Yay!
Can't wait.
Ty does.
If anybody out there who listens
is
good at doing editing, just let me know. And if you're willing to do it for free,
and you can do it for free for the gratitude of having done it is your payment.
Yep.
But yeah, so we are on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Is that it?
Yep.
And we did finally upload a new episode of our Detroit Become Human playthrough on YouTube last week.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we found out how to do it remotely.
Yeah, so we should be able to do that more often than we have been. And yeah, we're on every podcast thing you can think of, pretty much, aren't we?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I emailed you or I sent you the email about finally getting confirmed for Pandora. That was the last big one, I think.
Cool. So yeah, if you're hearing this, you're already listening. But if you have a preferred what's the word I'm looking for? Preferred app or whatever.
Yeah.
We're probably on there. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your friends and family and everybody you've ever met in your life about our show, and we will be greatly appreciative.
Yep.
And that's all we have to say on that.
And we'll see you next time.
That was a roller coaster.
I don't know where my cursor is.
It's in.
There
it's
it
over.
is.
Found it.